Hi, this is NIC PIPS, and I teach you how to give your dollars a job. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, and if you could, tap the like button. That helps YouTube share this information with other individuals with similar interests. So, I've created a new Telegram chat, so if you can go into the description of this video, click on my link tree, and then go to free Telegram chat, click on that, and you'll be able to join my Telegram and see where I share trade ideas and what's going on with me and when I post new content to YouTube. So let's get into today's content. Okay, so today we're going to walk through how to go ahead and download and set up MetaTrader 4 and go through all the basics of how to actually utilize the app on Android. First, you want to go into your Google Play Store and you want to do a search for MT4, and you see at the top it brings up MetaTrader 4. Now there is a MetaTrader 5, but we do not use MetaTrader 5. We're going to be using MetaTrader 4. So once you go here, you want to go ahead and click on download. Once it's done downloading, you want to go ahead and click open. So when you open up the app, you're going to be greeted with the quote screen. On the bottom left, you see the little arrows. That's the quote screen. So these are going to list the pairs that you can trade with your broker. First thing you want to do is you want to connect a broker account to the MetaTrader 4 app. The MetaTrader 4 app is just a communication vehicle between you and your broker of choice to open and close trades. You want to go over to the menu button, which is going to be the three lines to the top left. All right, click on that, and as you're going to see, you're going to get a lot of options here. At the top where it says manage accounts, when you first download MetaTrader 4, it should say MetaQuotes demo account or something of that nature. Just click on manage accounts, and you should only have that MetaQuotes at the very top. What I want you to do is I want you to long press that. Actually, I want you to click on it. And then at the top right, you see where it says delete account. Go ahead and select delete account to delete that MetaQuotes one. All right. Next, we're going to go ahead and add a new account by hitting the plus. Now, again, you can open up your demo account through here. So, for instance, I use a broker called Osprey FX. Link to that broker will be in the description of this video. But if I want to open up Osprey FX demo, I just click right here, fill out all the information, and then we're good to go. Put in my phone number, put in a name, put in an email account. Account type is already selected for me. I want to select my leverage. We suggest select the highest leverage available. In this case, is 1 to 500. And for the account deposit size, I normally just go with whatever the smallest amount is, or whatever is close to what you would be trading when you go live, because that way you get a feel for the market movement as far as the lot size and the actual trade size that you're going to be taking. Once you're done with that, you hit create account, and it'll create you an account and log you in. If you already have went in and opened up a brokerage account and have a demo account, that means you have an email from that broker that you signed up with that has the login information that you would need in order to connect that brokerage account to this MetaTrader 4 app. Click on log into existing account. So for instance, again, going back to my broker, Osprey, and right here you would put in the login information, and right here you would put in the password. Okay. Right here, you put in the login information. Right here, you would put in the password that was provided in the email that you received from your broker, and you click sign in. And then what it would do is it will sign you into your account, just like right here with my KOTFX. So next, let's go back to the quote screen. So from the quote screens, let's talk about that. Right now, you can see that mine has a lot of information on it. If I hit the menu button again, and I go ahead and go down here to settings, as you can see, I have an advanced mode at the very top. If I uncheck that, and I go back to my screen, now you see I have more of a basic layout, which just has the name of the pair and the low and the high price. So I go back to my menu button, go back to my settings. Let's go through the settings real quick. So right here it says play sounds when you open the order. So when you get ready to go in and trade, matter of fact, let me go in here. Let me put in a trade. Let me go ahead and put in a trade of a 0.01. Right? When I hit sell, you heard that little door closing sound? That sound, you can cut it off by going into the settings and unchecking this box right here. And now you'll see if I go in and do that again, that time it didn't make a sound. Okay, so let's go back to the settings. Next up, we got the line type. So that would be the candlesticks that we have. You can change it to a line chart or a bar chart. That just changes the layout of your window here where we currently have candlesticks. If you want the line chart, just go into your settings and that'll change it to a line chart. And as you can see, each one of these settings have a little description of what they mean. You can see on the screen which ones that I have checked on. Okay. I'm going to uncheck show period separators. I actually don't like those. But go ahead and just make sure that those are set on yours. Next, you can customize the colors. So let's go ahead and click on colors. As you can see right here, I have my color selected, and this is the default layout. But if you want to change the colors of the bar up or the bar down, so let's say I want my bar up candles to be, no, let's go with the bar down candles. I want my bar down candles to be red. I can select red. And for my bar down candle right here, which is the bear candle, which is equivalent to a bar down, I'm going to select red again, and I'm going to hit done. Now I'm going to go back to my chart. As you can see, now I have red candles for the bearish or the down movement candles. Okay. So again, you can go in there and customize that to your liking. All right. So whatever your preference is, go ahead and do that. Next up, all the way at the bottom, you see you have what's called a MetaQuotes ID. That's very important because if you have this MetaQuotes ID, when you download MetaTrader 4 for your desktop PC or your laptop, you can connect that particular version of MT4 to this particular mobile version and be able to receive your alerts remotely. So let's say on my MetaTrader 4 desktop, I set a price alert at a certain price point for a pair. Once that price alert is triggered, I can tell MetaTrader 4 my desktop, hey, when that notification comes up, send it over here to this MetaQuotes ID message center here, and it will pop up on your phone like a text message. So let me show you an example of a couple that I have received. So as you can see right here, these are some of the messages that I receive, and that'll come up in a later training. But just know that you can get notifications to your mobile phone from your MetaTrader 4 desktop. Now, the trick to that is you have to have your desktop PC up and running. If it goes to sleep or hibernates, if it shuts down and the internet connection goes out, you will not receive that mobile alert because the computer was not able to send that out to you. Okay, so that's the settings tab. Now let's go back to the quotes and go and finish that. Now, to the top right, you'll see that I have a pencil. If I click on that pencil, that gives me the option. If I click these little three lines to the left of a pair, and I hold and I drag up or down, I can rearrange these to my liking. All right. And I don't know if you guys saw that, but it has a delete as well. So let's say I want to delete one of my quotes out of here because I don't want to see that pair because maybe I don't trade Swiss JPY. So if I hit that delete button, you see to the right of Swiss JPY has a checkbox. If I check it, and I hit delete, now it's no longer inside of my symbols under my quotes. Now, if you're looking for a pair and it's not inside of this quote screen, you have to go and add it by clicking the plus button to the top left. As you can see, we have a search box to search for that particular symbol. So let's say I'm looking for Bitcoin, which is BTC. You see right here, BTC USD came up. So if I click on BTC USD, you see it went away on this screen. But if I go back to my quotes and scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see now I have BTC USD.S, which is the one that I just added. But let's go ahead and delete that. All right, by clicking on that and hitting delete. But that's how you would go in here and add in pairs that you need, search for them. Now, we also have these folders, which has the pairs that your broker has available for you to trade. This is going to vary for every broker. So as you can see right here, I have US shares, where actually with this broker that I have, well, this is KOTFX in this example, you can actually trade stocks in here, right? You see I just added IBM. So now if I go back to my quotes and go all the way down, here goes IBM. All right, another one, also cryptos are available in this particular broker, but just know it's going to vary. So let's go ahead and move on to the next thing. All right, so when you cut on the advanced options under the menu, again, let's go back and look at that one more time. The advanced mode up here at the top is going to show your spread on that screen, on that quote screen, which is right here to the bottom, right up under, where you see what all the JPY is, the spread says 1, 2. Now that does not mean 12 pips. That's actually what they call ticks, and 10 ticks equal 1 pip. So just move the decimal one place to the left. So instead of 12 is 1.2 pips, or RD Swiss in this example is 1.6 pips, and so forth, right? Gold, XAU USD says 31, that's 3.1 pips. Okay, so that's how you know what the spread is. And what is the spread? The spread is what you have to pay, or if you're shorting the market, or if you're going into a sale, you're going to start out the spread in the hole. So let's say the spread is 3. That means as soon as you hit the button, you're going to be 3 pips in the hole, and the market has to move at least 3 pips in your favor in order for you to break even and then one more pip more in your favor to get into profit. So that spread is what you have to cover to get into profit. So you start off in the hole that amount. All right, so that's why the spread is important. So that's on there. So next up, let's go to the next button at the bottom here, which is going to be our chart tool, which looks like candlesticks right here at the bottom. So as we can see already, I'm in a couple of trades for USD CAD. I have some sell positions. As you guys can see on the screen, it shows those because I'm actually in a trade. Now, let's talk about the screen and what you can do here. At the top, you have what's called the crosshair. If I click on that, now you see a crosshair shows up on my screen. Why is that needed? That's because, let's say I want to know what the price point is of this particular top of this candle, which is called a wick. Let's say if I want to know what that price point is, because that's where I want to put my TP. Over here to the right, in white, to the right of that line, it shows me that price of that level, which is 1.34051. So that's what I would enter into my broker right here. If I wanted to, if I long press the trade that I'm currently in, I hit modify order, I can put that TP in right there. Okay, I don't remember what it was, but we're going to just put in that, and I'm going to hit done. And so now if I go back to that screen, you guys can see that that particular modification has been made. And so let's go ahead and get rid of the crosshair. Next up is going to be what's called the function button, which is the F. Click on that. As you can see, this is where you want to go to add your indicators to your chart. So if you're a person that uses indicators to trade, this is where you add them in at. So as you can see, I have an F plus button in the top right. So if I wanted to add something to my chart, I just click the F plus and I go and find it. So let's say I want to add the MACD, which is one that's popular that we use. All right, go in there, put in your settings, hit done. And as you can see right here at the bottom, the MACD has been added to my chart. All right, if I want to get rid of the MACD, I'm no longer feeling it. It's getting on my nerves. I just hit the trash can button, check the box next to that particular indicator, and hit the trash can again, and voila, it's gone. So that's how you would add things onto your chart. Now, I don't know if you guys notice it, but when I put MACD on there, on my function screen, it has an indicator window at the bottom now. So if I wanted to add a particular indicator on top of my MACD, I would hit that F next to that, select moving average. I'm going to make this one yellow and hit done. Now you see I have an extra yellow moving average going through my MACD. So if you want to stack indicators for whatever reason, that's how you would do that. But if you want to add another one at the bottom, like let's say we add a stochastic at the bottom, but it's going to have its own separate window at the bottom, as you can see right outside the MACD if I hit the button at the top to the right of main chart. But if I want to add an indicator on top of my stochastic, like let's say if I want to add the average true range, I'm going to make that one pink so that way it'll stand out. And I hit done. Now you see I have an extra line inside of my stochastic. So that's how you would use the function box to add in indicators of your liking. Okay. So next up is going to be the little money symbol with the arrows around it. That's going to be where you can actually get a list of your pairs without having to go all the way down here to your quotes menu. Okay, so if you click on this little dollar sign, this is the list of your pairs. So you can just scroll through here. Let's say I want to trade GBP AUD. I click on GBP AUD. And right here in the top right, I have a plus button. It looks like a piece of paper. That's a trade button. If I click that button, now you see I have GBP AUD at the top where I can actually place a trade. All right, if I click this little button right here, I can go inside of this window and switch to a different pair if I want to switch to a different pair to trade, okay? So let's say you want to put in multiple trades for whatever reason. I want to put in a short for USD, Euro USD, hit sell. Click on my button here, put in a short for AUD USD, short it. You can do that from that window right there. So that's what that is for. Next up is going to be the time frame button. So as you can see, if I click on it, it gives me a drop down of the different time frames. So as you can see to the top right here, I'm on GBP AUD M15. That's a minute 15 chart. If I want to go to the 1 hour chart, I would just click on this little clock and click the H1, and that takes me to the 1 hour chart. If I click on the H4, this is the 4 hour chart. Those vary because that means that each one of these candles represents the price movement for 4 hours. In this example, if I go down to the M5, that means that each candle represents 5 minutes of price movement. Okay. Next up, we already talked about the trade window, so we're going to skip that. Also on Android, if you click on the actual chart, so right here, you see you get this little pop-up box, which is cool, right? Because it has like a little dial that has the different time frames. So if I want to switch to those, that's like a little quick shortcut to switch to those, right? So now I'm on the week. Now I'm on the 30-minute. Now I'm on the 5-minute. What's also cool is that if I click the background and that pops up, I also have access to my function key right here, as you can see. I also have access to my crosshair. But also we have this little bubbles with the shapes on it. That's cool because that's where you get your drawing tools from on Android. So if I click that, you'll see it has a list of things. These are all the different objects that I have placed inside of a chart in MT4, right? So if I want to go and add something to my current chart, so let's say I want to draw a trend line on this, right? Because right now it looks like it's in a little bit of an uptrend. So let me see if I want to draw a trend line. Click on my background, select my object tool, hit the plus, and I'm going to click on trend line. So now I'm going to click at the bottom down here where my trend is starting, and I'm going to click and hold and drag across. And as you can see, it creates a trend line for me. If I want to modify that trend line, I just double click it, and you see I get these options at the top. Select the pencil. I can change the color. Let's say I want it to be green. And let's say I want to change the thickness. I don't want it to be 4 pixels. I want it to be just 2. For whatever reason, I hit done. And as you can see, now my line is green. If I double click it again, I get the pencil again. I can change the color to red. Let's do a brighter red, and I'm going to change it back to pixels of 4. I like 4 just because it's thicker. And so that's how you would draw a trend line, right? Now, another thing that you could do, if you click on the background, click on the object tool, we also use rectangles, right? So that's how we would draw. Let's say you want to draw a zone. You would click, hold, drag down and across, and as you can see, it's drawing a rectangle, but it also shows me a zoomed in view of where I'm getting ready to drop. So if I want to make sure that I'm on the top of a body of a candle or the top of a wick, I have that as a tool to zoom in for me. And then the same thing applies. You see how if I double click on that box, it gives me the option if I want to change the color, change the thickness of the line, or as you guys can see, I also have a trash can right there to the right of it. If I click that, that deletes that particular item. Okay, so that's how you would do your drawing tools. Go in there and play around with it, guys. All right, this is for people who strictly trade on their MT4. So let's go over to the trade option, which is on the very bottom. It looks like an arrow pointing up. So this is my active trade. So at the top, you see I have the balance of my account. Equity is going to be my balance plus whatever I'm winning or losing at the moment as far as profit goes. All right, at the very top, you see it says 628 USD. Reason why it's not actually $7, actually almost $8, is because, as you can see, I'm actually paying $1.40 commission for my trade down here at the bottom, 7 cents for this one, and 7 cents for the one on the top, and that's why we're going to be that's why we only have $6 worth of profit, right? Now let's talk about the trade screen. So when you have active trades like I do, if you long press the trade, it gives you an option to close the order, add in a new order of the same pair, right? Modify the current order on that pair, or a shortcut to get to the chart for that pair. Okay, so for instance, I want to close out this trade here. All righty, and we can also swipe to the right, as you can see. If I hit the little check box, that's going to be the option to close the trade. So you see it says close order at the top. To the right, it has a pencil. That's to modify the order, as you can see. And if I swipe to the right, I have the little wiggly line. That's the chart. Okay, so long press, close. If I want to close the order, I will just confirm the close at the bottom. As you can see, I'm currently 19 pips in profit. 17 pips in profit. So when I click close order, now that order is gone from the screen. And if I go over to the right to this little mailbox, that's going to be my my history tab, right? And so as you can see, this is the history of this demo account. And at the very top, there go that USD CAD sell order that I just closed at 17 cents in profit. All right, so from this history screen on the top, you're going to see that we have a couple of options at the top right. That first one is the money symbol. So these are the symbols of the pairs that you currently have history on the current screen. Up and down arrow allows you to sort them. As you can see, mine is sorted by the closing time. So the trade that I closed most recently is going to be at the top. If I click closing time again, now the first trade that I closed within this history window is at the top, and then the most recent one is at the bottom. So you can go in there and play around with the sorting. All right, to the right of that is a calendar, which lets you know, okay, as you can see, this is showing my last 3 months of history. If I look at just today, this is the only trade I've taken for the day, so it only shows that. So again, you can go in there and play around with that, add a custom period to be able to see a custom amount of time as far as your trade performance goes. Okay, so let's go back to this screen. Let's talk about a partial close. So if you ever hear someone tell you, hey, go ahead and take partials or close partials, this is what it means. As you can see right now, my USD CAD sell order is at a 0.20 lot size, which is $2 per pip. So if I want to go ahead and close half of that out, I can just hold it to close it. Or like I said, you can swipe to the right and hit the check box. And as you can see at the top, I have my total lot size here, which is 0.20. And if I go in there and put in a 0.10, it's only going to close 0.10 of my order, right? Which is half of it. So you can see at the bottom that says that I'm going to close with profits of $5. I'm going to go ahead and hit close. As you can see, that order at the top is now 0.10 instead of 0.20. And if I go to my history, you'll see it closed out the 0.10 right here. So that's how you would do a partial close. All right. Now, if you want to modify your order to put in a stop loss or stop profit, or to change it and update it, you would go and put your stop loss here under the red area. You see where it has this red line under it? That's going to be your stop loss. The green line under here is going to be where you put your take profit at. So that's why you put your TP in your stop loss. So let's go back to the trade window. I want to show you guys about the different order types. So let's talk about that. So right here at the top, you see we got market execution. If I click that, it gives me a couple of options: buy limit, sell limit, buy stop, sell stop. So those are what they call pending orders. So if I put in a buy limit, that means that I'm expecting price to, let me show you right now, matter of fact. Buy limit, current price is at 1.116. So I'm going to go with 1.1524. All right, place that order. So if I go to my Euro USD chart, matter of fact, here's another trick, y'all. If you guys have a pending order or in your current order, if you long press that one again, just go to chart. It takes you right there. So if I pinch and zoom in, matter of fact, let me go on a higher time frame, which is the hour. Let's go on the 4 hour. Man, I must have put that order way at the bottom. So here you go. So as you guys can see, let me pinch out again. Right here, all the way at the bottom is my buy limit order. So what a buy limit means is that you expect price to come down and hit that level or that floor and come back up. So what would happen is once the price comes down and crosses through that line, it will activate you a buy order. So that means you're expecting price to stop somewhere around that area and then start to go back up. That's a buy limit. And then the exact opposite is happening when it comes to a sell limit. When it comes to a sell limit, you're expecting price to go higher and then drop, aka a sell limit. So if I go in there and put in that sell limit order and go back to my chart, as you guys can see right now, this is where current price is. This is where my sell limit order is. That means I'm expecting price to come up and cross through that line and then start to drop back down shortly thereafter, which is what they call a sell limit. So that means you will put that at a resistance area because you're expecting price to come up there, hit that resistance, and then drop. Same thing with the buy limit. You're expecting price to come down, hit the floor or the support, and then bounce back up. So those are pending orders. And buy stops or sell stops are this simple. A buy stop means that I'm placing a buy stop order at the price level higher than where current price is. I'm expecting price to come up and just keep going right through that. So I want to put me into a buy and don't stop. I'm thinking the price is going to keep going up. Opposite for a sell, I'm putting a sell stop order at the bottom under current price. I'm expecting price to drop and to continue to drop. So that sell stop order is going to put me into a sell once price crosses through it. So hopefully that wasn't too confusing, but we do have documents and information in our back office that explains that in further detail. So, yep, the news tab I never use. Again, on the bottom right is going to be like the message tab. That's where you're going to get your notifications from your desktop app if you choose to set up alerts that way through your app. And let's look at account management. So If you have more than one account, you can add them on. Like I said, just go in here and add in that existing account or add in that extra demo account. As you can see, I have more than one. I have my KOTFX, and I have 2 FX choice demos. So if I click on this FX choice demo and I hit log in, it automatically logs me in. And now when I go over to the window, as you can see, I have a different trade order, different account size, and yeah, as you can see, those trades that I had in that prior account are gone. The sell limits and the buy limits are gone. Okay, so that's how you would switch your accounts. And that's the nuts and bolts of trading on MT4 on your Android. If you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to drop a like on it for me. If you have any questions or comments about the video, drop them in the comments below. Or if you have any tips and tricks that you know, drop them in the comments below. And again, thank you guys for viewing. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.